Yeah, let's see. Top note 1 here. Sound start sharing. Oh, stop sharing. Chị nhìn được màn hình của cái top note 1 em share chưa?
Không thấy gì hết thôi.
Ủa, share rồi mà. Wait. Control stop sharing. Here. Here, so you can see. Can you see my screen? Lesson
Yeah,
4.
yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. So today we will learn lesson 4. Introduce someone to a crew. So do you remember what did we learn in the last lesson?
The last lesson we learned about introduce a person, introduce information person.
Yeah, provide, right? Provide personal information. Yeah, so we learn about what
Uh,
information we learned.
Nationality, occupation, nickname, email address,
Mm.
and their birthday or hometown.
Yeah, right. So let's see. Today we will learn introduce someone to a crew. Mm. Lesson 4. And before you read, warm up. So let's see. Where do you see or hear English? Where in your
Um,
life?
Everywhere. Um, if When I work in Vietnam, in my job
Mhm.
or normal communication, everyone uh, talk English like a single word. Okay, okay is English too.
Yeah.
So when I live in Australia, Australia communicate by English, so everywhere they talk English.
Mm.
Even I work in a tomato factory, almost a lot of foreign
Foreigner.
foreigner, yeah,
Foreigner.
foreigners. So communicate by English is very necessary.
Yeah. So you can say communicating with foreigners. So because you have to communicate with foreigners. So learning English is necessary in my life or in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before you read, search for the word English in the article. Then answer this question. How does each person use English? Or you can answer the question like how do you use English?
Ờ, Kiểu như là mình sử dụng lịch tiếng Anh bằng cách nào ấy.
Đúng không? Như thế nào? Tức là mình
Ừ.
sử dụng tiếng Anh như thế nào?
Um, Usually one person use English through communication, or when you uh, something like uh, we want to you mm, social network. Um,
Mm,
Normally, something in social network is English. So uh, um, they need to English to use social network. Or when you play a game, uh, every information in the game by English.
mm, yeah, right. So when you work, so you have to speak English, right?
English.
Yeah. So you speak English with foreigners or maybe with your boss, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you live, so how do you use English?
Live in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Um, if when I live, I need to talk English because my neighbor is Australian.
Australian. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have
Oh,
to talk English and they
yes.
can understand
Yes.
what you
Understand me.
talk.
Yeah.
And what else?
And
When you buy something, so you have
yes.
to English.
Yes. When you buy something in the supermarket
Mm-hmm.
or uh, someone asked me, something about home or so I need to know English to communicate with them.
Yeah, thank you. And we can answer this question like people use English for work, for life, yeah, to live, right?
Yeah.
Live in another country. Mm. Thank you. And next, we'll move to reading. Reading. So, can you see? Let's see. So, today we'll read some paragraphs with question who uses English. Mm, it's quite long paragraph. So
Yeah.
now we listen and read.
Read and listen.
Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, pay attention on the paragraph.
Listen. Who uses English?
This is Mitsuhiko Tanaka, a computer programmer at an international publishing company in Japan. He is originally from Sendai, but he works at his company's offices in Tokyo now, where he lives with his wife, Tomiko, and their young son, Hiro.
English is very important in our work. We use it to communicate with colleagues who speak many different languages at our offices all over the world.
Says Mr. Tanaka.
We also get visitors several times each year, so we use English for our meetings.
At home, Mr. Tanaka gets new ideas about computing from websites in English on the internet. He also uses his English in social media to keep in touch with friends all over the world.
Yeah, that's it for paragraph one. So can you read?
Read all the paragraph.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I check your pronunciation.
Mm. This is Mitsuhiko Tanaka, a computer programmer at an international publishing company in Japan. He is originally from Sendai, but he works at his company office in Tokyo now, where he lives with his wife Tomiko, and their young son, Hiro. English is very important in our work. We use it to communicate with colleagues who speak many different languages at our office all over the world, saying Mr. Tanaka. We also get visitors several times each year, so we use English for our meeting. At home, Mr. Tanaka get new idea about computing from website in English on the internet. He also used his English in social media to keep in touch with friends all over the world.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. So I have some question for you for paragraph one.
Yeah.
And what does Tanaka do? Or maybe
Um,
what is his occupation?
uh, Mr. Mitsuhiko Tanaka is a computer programmer.
Yeah. And how does he use English?
He uses English to communicate with friends in colors all around the world. And besides, he uses English to keep in touch with friends.
Yeah, that's right. So he uses English to communicate with colleagues. Mhm. And yeah, let's see. So where does he live?
He lives in Tokyo.
Mhm. He was here at his company's offices in Tokyo now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So next we will move to paragraph two.
Meet Leticia Marcus. She works as a financial manager for a Swedish automotive company in Curitiba, Brazil, where she was born and raised. She is single and lives with her parents.
I use English every day.
Miss Marcus says.
We use it in most of our emails and meetings and for calls to Sweden, the US, and France.
In her free time, she likes to watch movies in English.
It's good for my pronunciation.
She says.
Yeah, so that's it. So can you read? Can you read this paragraph?
Miss Leticia Maxwell. He works as a financial manager for Sweden automotive company in Curitiba, Brazil, where she was born and raised. She is single and lives with her parents. I use English every day, Miss McHugh says. We use it in most of our email and meeting and for call to Sweden, the US and France. In her free time, she likes to watch movies in English. It's good for my pronunciation, she says. She says.
Yeah, thank you. Very good. So what does she do?
Um, Miss Leticia McHale is a financial manager.
Yeah. So where does she live now?
Now she lives she lives she lives in Brazil.
Brazil, right? And how does she use English?
Uh, she used English for almost her email and meeting phone and her call uh, to Wisdom US and French.
Yeah, thank you. So what does she like when she have free time?
She like to watch English movies.
Yeah, thank you. Movies in English or English movies, that okay. And she says it's good for my pronunciation. Mhm. So how do you do to practice pronunciation?
Uh, Maybe when I talk with foreigners in my factory, or
Mhm.
sometimes if I have free time, I watch English movie.
So how do you practice listening?
Listening, listening. Um, I when I go to work, I like to speak, to talk with the Australian.
Australian, right?
Yes.
So how do you speak? How do you practice speaking?
Speaking, I
Mhm.
speak with foreigners or Australian and with my English teacher.
Yeah. And do you have you ever searched or watched English video on in the internet and you speak?
Um, is mm, no, maybe just a little bit, but if I have more free time to do.
Okay. And how do you speak? No, sorry. How do you practice writing? Do you practice writing?
Uh, if if one portray with one foreigner don't understand what I'm talk, I after that I go to the Google Translate and listen again and press it through the Google Translate.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't understand you,
Yes,
yeah. So you write, right? So you write on Google Translate, or you can write a paragraph, or you can write what you think in English. For
yes,
example, yeah, for example, when you think of a story, so you can write English story. You translate from Vietnam stories to English story. Okay, next we will move to last paragraph.
This is Hamza Itani, an executive assistant at a four-star hotel in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. Mr. Itani lives in Dubai now, but his hometown is the city of Beirut in Lebanon. At his job in Dubai, he uses English every day. Business travelers and tourists from many different countries stay at the hotel, and English is the most common language they communicate in.
Sometimes our guests need a tour guide, and if I'm not too busy, I use the opportunity to practice my English.
When he's not at work, Mr. Itani enjoys watching English language TV.
It helps me a lot.
He says, Mr. Itani is married and has a 1-year-old son.
Yeah, that's it for Mitotani. So let's see. What does Mitotani do?
um, Mr. Hamza intending is executive assistant for
Executive. Yeah,
as a four-star hotel.
4-star hotel, right? So how many people? in his family?
Or 3. Mr. Intani, his wife, and his son.
So how does he practice English? How does he use English?
He use English when he work because all all his client is um come because his client uh is around the world, so he needs learn English, know English.
Yeah, right. Thank you. So you can see here there are three paragraphs, there are three persons, and they use English for work, right? Almost, almost they use English for work. And that's it. So next we will move to exercise. After information, we can see here. After information, check all possible answers according to the article. Number 1. Mr. Tanaka used English. 2.